Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honorbound: Redemption of the New Guard, Season 2, Episode 1? Is that what we're calling this?
Yep.
I've started
that's-
season
we're
2
calling
like
it.
3 times, but I think this is actually season 2.
I think this is Season 2, Episode
This
1.
is season 2.
No, we had pre-season, the first season, and this is season 2.
Yeah, well, then we had that,
Yeah,
like,
but
Season
there were-
1.5 after we got out of the Dagger Keep, or something like that.
Yeah, there was a long
Yeah,
break where we thought we were
Black
starting a
Hole
second season, but it turned out we only got a few weeks in before. we
Yeah,
actually
and there was supposed to be, like, a big change in the style of the campaign, going from one thing to another, and then it kind of just didn't... Yeah. It wasn't... This is Season 2. This is Season 2.
This is season 2.
For real.
Well,
We promise. This time, we're
Okay,
serious.
so I think first thing we need to kind of realize where we are in time and space and talk about our characters. Time and space. So time, it's several hundred years after the fifth Grey War, which was the thing that happened in the previous season. The magic in the world is a very rare thing now. One second, I actually wrote some stuff down here, but I cannot seem quite find it. Where the... Okay, there it is. Centuries after the Grey War, that is now a memory even for the sages of Varys. Our adventure starts with 3 new faces in one of the northwestern points of Sorum, around 3 villages that have not seen a tax collector in decades. One in particular shall be the starting point of our story, the town of Karwick. Okay, any more questions? Anything specific you guys want to know about?
a lot.
Yes, feel
But-
free, because I need to know what you guys need to know.
Well, why don't I didn't you sounded like you wanted to like monologue for an hour? Wasn't that the?
No, I was just monitoring for a bit. I want to keep it simple, and
I
I,
mean, so why
want
don't you
just you. Gone.
Like, did you have something prepared to talk, like, to get us into the setting, or do you want us to just Q&A?
I want you guys to kind of figure out where you want to keep it short. I don't want to do another Renfield speech right now. More of a let's talk about your characters, let's talk about you and what you guys think you need to know. You ask me and we'll talk about it.
I don't know if you heard my background when I was making my character on stream.
No,
all?
because I need to. I left for
Okay.
Bucharest.
Why don't we? Well, unless people object, I tend to prefer to do that in character.
Yeah, I just was going to okay my
Okay.
background with Chucky, and other than that,
Oh,
yeah. No,
I
no.
was
If,
not
nice to
planning on
do
okaying my background with Chucky.
oh,
I
okay.
made up my background, and
I'm good. Introduce me to my party and let me fight something.
yeah. I mean, so is there anything we want to establish about where we are and what we're doing before? Or should we just?
I'm from this region, so I'm good.
Yeah, I am as well.
Okay, Justin, what about you?
So at some point, Hamara T was probably not from this area. She was a street urchin who made her living by grifting, petty thievery.
Well, most likely, if you are a street urchin, you'd have been born in the town of Valark, which is a couple of days away from the town of Karwick, and it is the only town that would actually be of some size.
Petty thievery. At some point, she probably pissed off someone, decided it was a good idea to leave town, started traveling the roads, met a interesting, crazy old man that she stayed with for a little while before taking off again. And he taught her some interesting things that she hasn't quite gotten a handle on yet.
So
If
I
you
take it
have
the
a
world
white
never
trouser.
ended. Like all of those threats from Honorbound season 1 were empty.
Not empty, but I mean, how do we start the campaign with the world ending? Let's just say that
I mean, so there's a big war a couple hundred years ago. That's all our characters need to know.
that's all that you know. You may need to know more in the future, but this is all you know. The war was several hundred years ago. It left the world completely changed. And now magic is something frowned upon by most major cities and disallowed in some
Okay.
kingdoms.
That makes a
And
lot of
it's
sense.
rare.
Especially considering my character background.
Yes, it is very rare. So clerics, for example, are an oddity, and only the high clerics in some churches are actually allowed to practice their magic.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Feel free. This is like out of game. We're not in game yet. Like
No
ask me.
questions.
I mean, yeah, I figure we can just sort of ask questions as they come up, as in like,
What sort of species are in the general area?
Humans. You have a
Just humans?
you have a decent concentration of dwarves. The more you go is because there's a mountain. There's a mountainous area. So basically, in the town of Carwick, if you have the map open, Carwick is like very away from civilization with other three villages. Carwick, Hund, and Onskar. Onskar is like I'd say 25% to 30% dwarves. You have a lot of nomads around, given the Crown Sands in the north. A lot of nomadic tribes moving around, trading, especially with your three cities. And you actually have a couple of tribes of elves that you are not an oddity here. You have seen elves in your lifetime,
Okay.
but nothing out of the ordinary. Mostly humans.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
yeah.
Okay,
Give me,
everybody
like,
ready?
I'm trying to upload this thing to Chucky's.
Thank you. I will link the Honorbound character sheet Google to you guys in chat right now, so you can check out the players' character sheets. That's always going to be the link. So if you bookmark it, you can always check out their character sheets.
I'm still converting mine to a PDF.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I'm saying that for chat's benefit, not yours. Because chat wasn't online when I said that the first time.
Okay, well, let's rock and roll. So let's talk about the characters just a bit. Right, no background, but unless you want to give any. Besides that, let's just talk. Do you want to give out quests and stuff like that, or do you just want to jump into it?
I want to talk to someone. I want to be in game.
Yeah, I do too. Give me like. So
Put
why
me in
don't
game.
you put Neil somewhere, and then we'll walk in a second once I figure out this damn
Yes.
PDF upload.
Where am I, Chucky? What am I doing?
So you are in the town of Carwick, as you have been for a big amount of your lifetime. The town is
I was born
Gone?
and raised in Onskar, actually, if you don't mind. If that's okay.
okay. No problem. You were
Cool.
born and
That's like
raised in
critical
Moscow.
to my character background.
No problem. And you moved. You are in Carwick because of trade.
Chucky, okay, I can't actually write. I can't actually upload.
No problem. Just give it to me on Skype and I'll upload it in a break.
All right.
I have left Onskar on a mission to find myself and promote justice throughout the land.
Okay, interesting. And you are in Carwick because it is the.
It's on the road.
Yeah, it's on the road.
Yeah.
Again, it's very rare that you see any contact with civilization in these three villages besides occasional nomads, tribes of elves, or the merchants coming in from every year almost at the same time from Valark. Besides that, that's mostly it. You are in the only inn in Carwick, which is the Wayfarer's Rest.
What building number
And-
is that on the map?
Okay, well, to map, too many.
It must be
things
building
open.
3 or 2.
It is building 2. Building
Okay.
3 is actually a hall, the city hall.
Okay. Cool. The Wayfarer's Inn.
The Wayfarer's Rest.
Wayfarer's Rest.
What time of day is it?
It is it's noon. It's morning. It's like
All right.
12
Well,
p.m.
let me introduce myself. I am Velma Treeborn, but my friends can call me Monty. I'm 5'6". I'm a human monk with a shaved head, brown eyes, yellow robes with a red tabard over it that has the scales of justice of the god Velmontarius. I'm youngish, like 19 years old, male, right-handed. And I approach the tavern and look for the innkeeper.
The innkeeper is a very muscular man. Even though he is a bit fat, he has long white hair going almost to his waist. It's strapped with leather bindings of different colors. You all know the story of where's this his name? John Riggern. He is grandfather is actually rumored to have started the town of Carwick.
Is
He takes
this
great
modeled
pride in
after
that.
the Swiss tradition in the late 90s, early 2000s of wearing rubber bands on your pants?
That
No,
is Swiss tradition.
Yeah.
I have no idea. What
Phase?
this is.
Fad? Never mind.
I've
Not
never-
Swiss.
never heard.
Swedish. Swedish.
Interesting.
Guys have never heard of that?
No, I have
I guess
never heard
just
of that.
me and Chucky.
It's pretty obscure.
Us youngins.
Us youngins. Anyway, as I said, you all know the legend of John Wiggett. His supposed to be in the next adventure, and his great grandfather set up Carwick, and then continued on. His descendants continued on this creating Hund and Onskar. Well, Onskar was more of a dwarvish job, but humans would take credit for that.
So these cities just popped up in the last couple hundred years.
Yes, they are quite new in the world.
Good afternoon, innkeeper.
Ah, hello, welcome to my inn. What can I help you with, son?
Sorry, what time of day did you say it was? I forgot already.
Noon.
Noon?
Noon.
I am traveling through the land, and before I head further on, I was hoping to rest for a few days here. May I stay in your humble establishment?
Oh, this time of year we don't have this wait in the autumn. We don't have many travelers in. Yes, I have quite a few rooms available.
Thank you. I would like your most simple, basic room. I have not need for, oh God, what have I done? Oh God, what have I done? I have not need for the comforts of most life.
That can be arranged. I do have simple rooms, not a big city.
Hey, Neil, apparently Ryan and I are not in the right places on the stream.
You were once upon a time.
Okay.
And what's the? I think it's a silver a night. Am I correct?
For the cheap room, I think it's
I'm not
2
sure.
silver for the poor rooms. Pretty sure it's 2 silver a night for a poor room.
Expenses. 1
He's
second.
just a poor boy from a poor family.
Your world, make it up. Or
1 silver a
yeah,
night.
It's 1 silver piece. 1 silver a night. That was
Nice.
right.
Okay, I gently hand him a gold piece and bow and say, "May Velmontarius smile upon you and your establishment." Would it be
Thank you.
too much to presume that you sell food as well?
No, my daughter runs the kitchen, but currently she is not here. As soon as she makes it back, I'll make sure to tell her to set something up for you.
Thank you.
Have
And
have a couple of berries and fruits, if that would be of an interest.
I nod.
Okay.
so I'm happy to already be in this tavern if that's convenient.
Yes, you can already
Alright.
be at the table.
Yeah. So sitting at a table in the corner by himself is a tall, lithe human male.
Thank God.
Um,
If you were dead, that'd be really weird.
Lithe, L-I-T-H.
Oh, lithe.
Slender and graceful.
Hmm.
Sprawled out, probably foot up on the table, smoking a large pipe. Head to toe in long, flowing, neutral colors, a long robe and a turban. The only bright color is a blue veil that is currently aside his face. And beneath this, bronze scales glitter through. And my boots and belt appear to be made from some sort of reptile skin. I'm armed, and next to me is a large traveling pack with an unstrung recurve bow leaning against it. That's about it. I guess now that my veil is open, you can see a crooked nose and close-set gray-green eyes and a scraggly, coarse black beard.
About approximate age range?
Mid-20s, but I mean,
Yeah.
unattractive, so it's sort of, I haven't aged gracefully, but probably mid-20s.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's the highlights.
I make my way to the table and standing on the other side say, "Is this seat taken?
It is empty.
May I?"
I gesture for you to take a seat and sort of adjust myself, take my foot up off the table and place it beneath me.
I sit down, parting my robes
Ooh.
at the side, and set my large backpack on the ground. You'd notice that I don't seem to be carrying any weapons.
I'm going to break the third wall for a second. Complain
wall.
about how poor they did not balance the starting equipment with the optional encumbrance rules.
No.
So, like, the amount of shit they give you at level 1, it far exceeds anything any character could ever carry.
Yeah, I didn't
not
take
any-
most of it.
All
I
the-
dropped
Yeah,
a lot of
I
it.
had to go through all of my starting equipment and be like, I can't. I mean, I started with like 150
So
pounds.
most of the Valiant rules have not been like, you can look at the resting one. They did not include any
This
note
isn't
in it. This
PHP.
does not affect. Yes, I'm just saying that every Valiant rule has not been balanced with the game. Almost all of them are not balanced with the game. They're just there to make it quite fun, but they haven't really thought them through.
Well, it's not really balanced, but if you choose to do the starting equipment plus the variant encumbrance, you wind up with like twice as much crap as you want.
Yeah.
I take a look at it as you may start with any of these things. Like these things
Yeah.
come in your Dungeoneer's pack. You don't have to take them. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I
Yeah.
threw away most of it so that I could
Yeah.
actually walk down the street. All right. I look. Wait, Neil, you said you're not from this. Oh, you said you're from this area, but you're new to town, or
I'm new to town. If you've been here a while, you will have not seen me.
yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I will. You are not from around here.
No. I come from Oscar.
I actually probably look quite out of place here as well. My dress looks foreign and my accent is strange. Oscar.
It is
I
familiar.
have been, and I, Dr. Rock. I say some traditional dwarven greeting.
Oh, you're a dwarf.
No, I'm human,
Oh, okay.
but isn't
Yeah.
Oscar a relatively high dwarven population?
Do you speak Dwarven, Neil?
I do not. I do halfling and gnome.
So but you will recognize Dwarven. I will say that because you were raised in Omskar.
I nod and say, I do not speak the tongue of the underdwellers.
It is much nicer up here in the sun.
I agree. Pray tell, where do you come from? You do not look to be of this land, and here you are in an inn. You must be from far away.
I am a bit of a wanderer. I spend most of my time in the Crown Sands, but money does not sprout from the dunes, so I find myself in civilization from time to time.
The Crown Sands are a dangerous place. You must be quite skilled to have lived so long.
I suppose.
And this is where Justin walks in.
At this point, the innkeeper comes with a with his platter of berries and fruits, puts it in front of you, says, "Here you go, son." And then the door opens.
I nod to the innkeeper, and I'm about to say something to Ryan as
So the door opens. What seems like might be a child walks in. She has very, very long hair. You can tell she's elvish, but she looks very short for an elf. So maybe you think she's a child. But when you get closer to her, she has lines on her face. Not in like a old way, though. Anyone who thought about it for a while might realize that she was malnourished as a child. And she's actually fully grown. This is just as tall as she's ever going to get.
How tall?
She's like 5'6", which is short for an elf woman.
That's pretty average for an elf, isn't it?
Not in my mind. Is it
But, like-
average in 5e?
It depends on the world.
Checky.
Check.
Elves are actually quite tall, and the ones that you have seen, at least the wilder ones you have seen. Maybe, as again, you have not seen much of the world.
Okay.
So maybe elves are different in other parts.
In my mind, she's shorter than she's like at least 6 inches shorter than the average female elf height. but Tolkienish elves are like 6 feet. So
Yeah, but D&D elves they at least like make a distinction from Tolkien, or for some reason they made them short.
I'm about 5'6" too, though. So
it's a Chucky question. If elves are like an average of 6 feet in Chucky's world, then she's 5'6". If elves are an average of like 5'7", she's like 5'1".
Yeah, elves are average of about 6 feet.
Yeah, so she has a walking staff. It's about head high on her. She's very spry. She's very nimble. She's looking around. She walks up to the bartender and starts talking to him. Hey, mister.
Yes, young lady. What can I help you with?
You want to see the best You want to see the best cup and balls trick ever?
I look away from Ryan, or smile at Ryan, and look towards the little creature.
Are you a entertainer?
I take out 3 cups and a ball, and I do the shuffle. Like, pick a cup. Where's the cup? Where's the ball?
I want to pick a cup.
Oh, we have a player already. See, this is the kind of thing. You let me set up shop here. I bring in business.
Okay, you do your sleight of hand versus my passive perception.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, roll your sleight of hand.
Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. Don't let you guys go off the ball. Don't let it look at my pretty face. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the
Passive
ball.
perception or active perception?
Can I use my passive, or do I have to use my active?
When you are constantly looking around, you have your passive always there. You can choose to use your active.
Yeah, so I just use my passive. I point to the
Passive more
correct.
than 17.
Yeah, I point to the correct ball cup.
What's your passive?
Oh, you're a rogue. Wait, are you a rogue? What the fuck?
He's a
No,
monk.
he has.
But don't worry about it, guys. Just let it be. Don't look at it too hard.
I'm trying to figure out what mechanic could.
I lift up the cup. Ah, the ball.
Oh. Very good, sir.
I'm a little shocked. I was trying to pretend like I wasn't interested, but I was expecting to be able to solve the trick, and I was totally baffled and a little bit offended that this newcomer swoops in and more perceptive than this experienced ranger.
This is we do not. It's if you can play an instrument, I would gladly offer you food and a night's rest. That definitely brings in.
I
people
pull
with
out my
games.
panpipes as he
Not
says
games.
this and start playing them.
Where did you get
You
it?
have-
Oh, did you start with?
I start with him.
It's got to be from his background,
Yeah,
right?
I got an instrument proficiency, but I don't have enough money to buy an instrument.
So I just pull out my panpipes and start. Excuse me, innkeeper. Do you think I could play my pipes in exchange for food instead of paying? As you had just mentioned to me.
Yes, of course. People are quite attracted by music, especially in a small town like this. Feel free. There's if you are good enough, and my standards are not that high. Not many entertainers stop around here. It's actually quite true. This man seems to be very honest and straight to the fact. There's a small stage over on there. You can take a seat and perform.
How many other people are in the room aside from the 3 of us?
And now it's quite early, especially in a town like this. People are working at this time. Usually in about 4 or 5 hours, that's when the inn fills up. There are only about 5 other people besides you.
Okay. I say to the elf, would you care to join me and my new friend here? At the table?
I don't look the least bit friendly.
I'd be much obliged.
And I turn back to Ryan. I never did get your name. I am Velma Treeborn.
I am Sandor Rowles, and I do not extend a hand. So I take a drag from my pipe.
I did not offer a hand. And I look to Justin. And you?
I can't do it. I had a voice I wanted to do. I can't do it. For some reason my throat's locking up.
Give it time; it'll come.
It'll come. I'm Hamara T. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
What brings you here, Hamara?
It's not so much that I'm going to anywhere, it's just I'm going away from.
What drives you from your home?
Oh, I don't have a home. Silly. I just thought it would be better to be on the road.
I look to what was Neil's character's name?
The innkeeper
Velma.
walks away and goes back to his own
Velma.
business.
If you have a home, what are you doing in this public room? What?
My
Wait, you guys-
I have a home that I've been in there. How should I say? I am a member of the Order of the Scales. We are a monastic tradition up in Oscar.
I've heard of this. But I've heard of this order.
If you were well traveled, you would have.
I am well traveled, at least
Yeah.
in the local area.
Yeah, then you would have heard of it. It's nothing big. It's kind of a smaller-ish place. Or a smallish tradition. And it is traditional for those monks that are there upon reaching 25 years of age to travel outward. However, I was born into the order rather than joined willingly. So at my youthful age, they sent me out to gain some world experience and to bring my training to the land in need of it. But tell me, Elf, you sound as if you have a sad story in your heart.
Oh, nonsense. I have nothing but happy stories in my heart and my hands. I start doing some other like sleight of hand magic tricks. Produce a deck of cards, banish a
Unless you're
card.
actually,
I lean into Neil's ear. And
I have a really good sleight of hand.
That doesn't
Also, I'm
search in the
proficient with
eye.
like multiple sets of tools.
yes, you have a pretty good sleight of hand, but he has a pretty amazing passive perception.
Well, maybe he's not fooled.
Is
But
there a feat that gives you a bonus perception
Yes.
that I missed?
Yeah.
Don't.
Yes,
Why are you looking
yes.
at this stuff, Ryan? Just chill.
I was actually trying. I was trying to find one. Like I found the alert that gives you bonus initiative. I was trying to find if there was a
Observant.
like when I was making my character. Oh, observant.
Observant.
Like-
+1 to either wisdom or intelligence, and then +5 to passive perception and insight, and you can read lips.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the one. Another player has a similar one on another show.
Yeah.
That's
if
why
I'd
we
grabbed
know it.
that, I might even have taken it. Good thing I didn't, or if I'd noticed that. Anyways.
anyway,
And there's something. If you've had a troubled past, tell me. It is my place in this world to find people who have been wronged and set things right. I am a bringer of justice, or I am supposed to be. I have yet to be tried.
she giggles a little bit at that.
You are in the wrong corner of the world to find justice, monk.
I am in the right corner of the world to bring justice.
I'm afraid it is my birth and faith that wrong me, and you can't bring them to heal. I'm afraid.
Is there something that can be done to remedy this? I have been I must confess, I've been looking for a task to prove my worth, to test my mettle.
She like opens her mouth, about to like. Make
I
a
can
certain
read
reply.
lips.
She thinks about it.
Do tell.
You could find out what happened to my parents.
Where were they last seen?
I don't know.
Where were you found?
Wasn't found so much. I'm an orphan.
As am I. Tell me your story.
Hey, Chucky, what was the name of that city?
Valar.
Valar.
Alok. It's too similar to
Valar.
Alice.
Okay, I'll type it out here just so you have it if you want to search it in the map.
It's
It's just too similar to Alice in like my head for some reason. I don't know exactly what happened to them. I don't have any memories. The earliest memories I have are of being on the street, but I have and I pull out a a green gem that it's like a perfect sphere. It doesn't look like it's terribly expensive if you're familiar with gems, but it has some sort of. If you look at it just right, there's some sort of imperfection in the center. It looks almost like a sigil. This is the only remembrance of them that I have, and I don't. Afraid I don't know anything about elves, or where they came from, or where they were going, or why they were in Valark.
It's
silly.
I look at the gem carefully. What can you tell me about it, Chucky or Justin?
Justin's 100% knows everything about this.
That's everything I know about the gem. It's
Yeah.
green. If you look at it just right, there's there's an imperfection in the middle that like looked in exactly the right. It looks like some sort of sigil.
What
Is
there any way I can roll to see if I know anything about the sigil?
Yeah.
Is there something on your background, or is this something you want me to make up?
I'm a traveled man. I have done business with elves. If it's an elven sigil,
You can make it. I have no. I'm an orphan. I don't know what happened to my parents,
Definitely. So a history.
and I don't know enough about elves in the world to make up a reasonable story.
So a history or anything that you think might be just if you have a skill in mind and you think it might be relevant.
So Hamara's a rebirth of another character, from a different D&D campaign that I never got to finish her story.
Well, the thing is that you haven't told me anything about it, so
I know, but I'm just.
You like it or you don't like the background of what will happen if he figures this out. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
I want to make a religion check to see if there's any religious significance in it.
Definitely, yeah, definitely do it.
10.
You are not sure. It might be, it might not. You don't know. You have never ever seen this sigil ever before.
I guess I'll make a long shot history check, but really not worth it.
Oh,
Might be. Is there any chance
You-
that I've encountered this sigil?
You actually have seen this sigil before. It is something of a collector's item nowadays. It's of a elven house long ago that disappeared. Nobody knows much about them. There is a popular folk like elven legend about them, portraying them as heroes. But all of them are believed to be deceased.
What is the name of the house?
What was the name? 1 second.
Wind Whisperer?
Wind Whisper, yes. Yes, that is the name of the house.
So is it a leaf, or was this the other sigil?
This is the other sigil with a leaf and a paw on it.
Mm-hmm. I guess I will share this with. I have seen these sigil before, or at least heard it described. It belongs to an ancient elven house, Wind Whisperer.
Really?
where is this house found?
I believe these elves resided far to the east.
Hamara rolls an insight check
But-
to see if she's being lied to.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, feel free. You are 100% sure that he is being completely honest.
But this house fell many hundreds of years ago.
Oh.
That trinket is no more than a collector's item at this point. Perhaps could fetch a pretty penny for it at the market.
I scowl.
No, I'll just keep it as it is.
Hamara,
Thank you.
how old are you? I'm not good when it comes to elven ages.
Me either. If I were, I can remember, I think, 19 summers, but I don't know exactly.
Do you have any music playing? Right
Oh
now?
yeah.
Okay, good. Continue on.
I mean, if you want to play music for everyone, that'd be fantastic. That'd be more fantastic.
Yes, that's what I was trying to
Yeah,
do.
do that
So
shit.
Take that down.
So, if you remember 19 summers, you are perhaps no older than 25?
Perhaps.
Tell me if it's true, Alan.
That's perfect. Well, what say you, Sandor, or Zandor? Would you like to accompany me to find out where Hamara's parents might have come from? Find some justice in the world? Bring civilization to a realm long lost of it?
The road is dangerous. You will need my help along the way. My fee is 1 gold a day. If we stumble across treasures or loots, I can deduct the 1 gold from these findings.
It is so then.
I'll say in Dwarvish, you have very reasonable fees.
I will respond in Dwarvish. Why did you assume I spoke Dwarvish? Or did you overhear that when you walked in?
I was listening at the door for a while.
Picking
The right time to make my appearance, to be impressive with the cup and balls routine. Normally it works better.
I'll respond in Dwarvish. Life is cheap in the wilds.
Hamara will nod at
Suddenly
that.
the door opens and a boy, just in normal clothes for his age, kind of red-faced, puffing, runs actually inside towards John. You can definitely see him
Towards John?
John the Innkeeper.
Oh, okay, I didn't get his name before.
Yes, John Riggert, the Innkeeper. And as I said, barely standing on his feet. Mary's gone. I found her bow in the forest. I can't find her.
I immediately look to the party. You've been missing your parents your whole life. Surely it can wait a day or two while we find out what happened to this young boy.
Of course.
I stand up and start walking over to the innkeeper.
Now at this point, the innkeeper's wife is at his side, who seems to actually be taking this a lot better than him. His hand is shaking wildly, and he says, Mary's gone? Are you sure, boy? And they continue on this conversation for just a couple of seconds. It seems quite obvious that Mary, his daughter, the one that he mentioned to you before, seems to have disappeared. The only thing I found is her smashed bowl with apples. She was picking apples in the forest.
Child, tell me where. Show me where. My companions, I say, looking back, will help you find them. And I reach into my pocket and throw gold at Sandor.
Sandor.
Sandor Clegane. So that's just a random Game of Thrones name.
Yeah.
He says, south of here.
Take me.
In the forest.
Take us.
Take me.
And John is roaring basically at this point, and he says, I'm coming! No, you're not!
I take a look at I've probably known this innkeeper, or I've stayed at this inn a few times in the past. Is this innkeeper a fighting man or a...
He was an adventurer. Now he has completely white hair. He
took an arrow to the knee.
Are still very muscular. Yes, he literally took an arrow to the knee. And he has quite a belly on him.
Whatever.
You've seen him handle troublemakers, but he doesn't look like in fighting condition. And his wife is, no, you're not going. These men are more than capable of handling themselves. You offer them a reward and they'll take care of it. Man, look at her.
That economy. Okay.
All right.
You heard her. You,
I
make
look to
sure
him.
Mary's safe.
In case your daughter is actually safe and the child is mistaken, it would be best if you stayed here in case she returned. Or if any more news comes, we need someone capable to bring it to us.
This is the innkeeper's daughter who's disappeared?
Yes. Yes, you've actually seen her quite a few times if you live here, Sandor. She is
I don't live here, but I'm
Yeah.
basically a mercenary, so I do a fair bit of traveling.
Yeah,
this
so I
town.
mean, if you've stayed, this is the only inn, so the idea is that you've seen her many times, actually. She's the cook and part of a waitress as well.
So the boy leads us. I guess yeah.
This way, sirs. This way. And he is kind of like taking a couple of minutes to regain his breath after running so much. And then takes you south of the city into the wooded area. And now, this is the only problem that I have with music here. I like playing for everybody, but Roll20 is kind of fucked up. It doesn't really have a order, and it doesn't order the music real good. Anyway, I should
You
be
can
doing
change
this.
the name and then it will alphabetize it for you.
Oh.
I think. Or if not, you can just, I mean, you can add it to the bar rather than just keep searching for it. And then you can rename
Yeah.
them and it's easier.
I just hope you guys see this. Okay, you guys see this. Good. He takes you south of the town into a sparsely wooded area, and then a bit deeper, where you start seeing a couple of just wild apple trees around. This is where she was. That's what I found. He points to a smashed clay pot and a couple of just green apples standing by it. Even without searching around, you can see marks on the dirt there.
Guess I'll take a knee. Do you want nature, survival?
Survival.
Try and track them, and I guess identify the creature that did this. To be honest, I'm guessing Neil's character is probably better at this than I am.
Maybe, but I'm talking to the boy while you search the ground for prints,
There's, I think everyone in the party is decent at perception.
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is survival to track.
So Sandor, you don't know. You can definitely. This is an easy. At least at the beginning here, it's an easy path to track. The drag marks are quite obvious. You are not sure though, but that well, you're not sure how many creatures there are. There might be 3, 5,
Yeah.
maybe only 2. Yeah, it's a lot of marks around it. You're not really sure. But you are sure that you are sure to identify the woman that is a medium creature, and the others seem to be smaller.
Okay.
Kneeling down in front of the child to say, "Son, this is a dangerous world. People sometimes die. I need you to come with us. So if we are in danger, or if we need to send word back to the town, you run as fast as you can to deliver it."
Is there blood on the ground?
There doesn't seem to be any blood on the ground now.
Are you crazy? This boy?
We will keep him safe, and at the first sign of danger, shall flee and report back to the others. It is good to keep information lines open, and I am confident in our ability to protect him.
I'm quite a good runner. I'm a messenger boy between Carwick and Hund.
Okay.
I can run quite good.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Oh come on! You should save my sister if something happened to her. Well,
I will. Unless anyone else wants to investigate the scene, I'm going to start following the tracks. Can I roll a nature to identify the animal or if it is an animal, or something else? Or
you
is
can
that bundled in with my tracking?
You can do me. No, it's not under in. You can do me a nature if you want to figure out maybe more about this. You're not exactly sure what you're seeing.
Nope. No
You
idea.
have absolutely no idea what this is.
I follow Sandor.
Okay, so nobody is doing any more survival checks. Is that
I mean,
it?
he's got the trail, right?
Yes, he's got a trail.
Then we're good.
Trail. I guess I'll string my bow, but probably still leave it over my shoulder.
Okay, so you guys start moving. You start moving through the sparsely wooded area. The trail seems to be leading southeast. Okay, we have something that fits our. No. And do you actually hear this music right now? Because
No.
I have some.
Not yet.
No.
Does someone keep muting and unmuting their mic? Because there's a popping noise.
Yes, I can hear it as well.
It's
I
me.
think it's you, Justin.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever I'm typing in chat.
Uh, okay.
No, okay, no
'Cause
problem.
otherwise, my keyboard is quite loud.
It says cherry keys,
So-
huh? Blue
I
key?
actually have my keyboard. Like I have my keyboard down on my feet below the desk when I
Your
type.
feet? Do you type with your toes?
No,
Chucky is very talented.
this is my microphone, and this is where my
Penis is.
keyboard is. that I know. It hasn't changed
You
position.
mean Chucky isn't anatomically a pretty princess? My worldview is shattered.
This is
All
the
right.
Just imagine.
So
Okay,
we're following this trail. You said southeast.
you are following the trail going southeast. You go along the way for maybe. I mean, how many hours do you guys go on, and anything changes, or you continue on until?
To the end of the trail.
I
rolling
will
perception
stop
checks.
and start questioning our motives. We left around like 12:30. If it's
Something like that,
autumn,
yeah.
the sun probably goes down around 7. So I'll stop and start questioning motives after 3 hours of travel.
So you take a small break after 3 hours of travel. or
Yeah, I
do
mean,
you
at
just do
3
it?
hours, I will stop with the party
Does it-
and discuss
So
what's
so as we travel, you notice I'm like eating on the go. Like I'm picking berries and foraging for food as we travel.
You notice that I am not.
I'm like offering it to people if anyone.
Oh yeah, I will. If you offer it, I will. I will eat anything you offer to me, but I will not ask for anything. Also,
Great.
as we travel, you notice that aside from actually, I have no weapons on me whatsoever, and I am actually quite slender and thin. Not like well built thin, but just kind of like a scrawny guy, short and scrawny, 5'6", 140 pounds, maybe. Wearing yellow robes with a red tabard and the scales of Velmontarius on them.
So do we wind through this forest for 3 full hours, Chucky?
Yes, you wind through this, as it's a sparsely wooded area, for about 3-4 hours,
Okay.
and the track is still there. The drag marks sometimes turn into footprints, and only for a couple of minutes after to turn into drag marks again.
Okay, at 3 hours. Well, I say hold up, please.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of catching up, I moved 35 feet, whereas everyone else is moving 30, I think.
I'm moving 20 actually with all my gear.
Yeah, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go ahead of the rest of the party, trying to catch up to this little girl as fast as possible. So that's an extra 30 feet per 6 seconds. I don't know
Yeah.
how you want to translate that.
No, yeah, that's okay.
Probably need to roll a tracking check.
The problem here is that you need to give me a survival check because you don't have the trail.
Okay. Ooh,
Okay.
that's not a great check.
Yeah,
God, my
yeah,
rolls
you
today
can't-
have sucked except for my one
So
insight
after
roll.
a couple of hours where it's kind of easy to follow it, then it starts to go into thickets, and it starts going into curves and not taking there isn't really any path around here, so it's quite hard to follow it. So you meet up with the rest of the party because you can't really follow you can't follow the trail on your own.
Anyway, after
You
the
can pick it up from them and just go on.
So as soon as I lose the trail, I cast Speak with Animals to inquire of all the local animals what's gone by here recently.
Bad.
Oh,
so we
interesting.
run into Justin, and he's like "Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo," to the birds.
Yeah. Can you describe how this spell casting looks to you, or how it looks when you cast a spell? Like, do you do this before we show up, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, I don't know. Tricky, how far ahead am I? Like, if I'm
As I said,
minute ahead.
You're
After
about that, like a
Okay.
minute or something ahead because you can't quite follow the trail on your own.
Is the innkeeper still with us as well?
No, just
no.
his son. But I'm about to send him back as soon as I
Yeah.
get a chance to speak.
So the knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at a minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you with the DM's discretion.
Okay. So
So I'm gonna say there's like green sparks over whatever part of my anatomy is involved in casting a spell, like my whole druid career. So in this case, it's just my mouth.
You cast this in front of us, or
No,
before we show up?
I mean you might catch up like in the middle of the conversation, and you see the green sparks coming from my lips, and I'm like talking to a squirrel, or it looks like I'm talking to a squirrel.
Okay. So you start talking to a squirrel, and the squirrel. What do you ask the squirrel?
I asked the squirrel if anything came by dragging or carrying a little girl, and what it was.
I don't know. Oh, there's a sleeping lady came by. It's big, furry creatures. The one with the one those snarls. They snarl. You want to eat us?
Do you think you could track them or follow them? Please, little squirrel. I promise they'll never bother you again if you help me.
They don't really bother me, and I have nuts together.
I'll give you a really good nut.
One nut? And how much do you want to each track them for? Minutes?
It's a nut that will feed you for 24 hours, regardless of like how slowly or how fast you eat it.
Is it a big nut?
It's a magic nut.
It's a magic nut. I don't know what magic is. I don't trust magic. If it's not a pig, I don't want it.
Okay. Which they went that way?
Yes, that way.
All right. Speak with animals lasts for 10 minutes. So for the next 10 minutes, like I'm going to inquire of every single animal that I see. You know, if
They all
we're on
seem
the
to
right.
be saying the same thing.
Okay.
Like,
But I'm on the right
this
track is the point.
There's this human being dragged away by furry creatures that snarl.
So where is the rest of the party?
I watched this interaction
I mean,
with the squirrel.
So do
basically
you
kinda-
catch up and watch him talking with the squirrel?
Yes, you do catch up.
Okay. I probably draw a blade and say, "What manner of sorcery is this?" Chucky, how are druidic spellcasters perceived in this society? Like, is
In
it
this part of the world,
is it considered natural
people
magic
are
and
pretty
not?
tolerant. Druids, as long as they don't really interfere much with the cities, are kind of ignored. Usually, druids don't really dwell in the cities,
what
so there's no real general opinion about them. Magic in itself is considered very dangerous.
Mhm.
That's why the
I
agent.
very much buy into this.
I
In fact,
don't- not in like a forceful I'm stopping you way, but in kind of like a I'm getting your attention. I put my hand on your upper arm, like gently, to get your attention. I say, "Stay your blade, sir. He means us no harm."
She.
speak
She.
witch. How do you speak with these creatures?
A man I met on the road once taught me the knack.
Zanak.
Yeah. I mean, you speak Dwarvish, and not everyone speaks Dwarvish. Not everyone speaks Squirrel.
This is a language, not a. Yeah. So that's my Arcana
Right.
check. I know what he's doing.
Yes, you have a very good idea what he's doing. You don't know the spell. I know it's you a spellcaster. You just know it's a spell. Much besides that, nothing.
I mean, he'll be a spellcaster in the near future.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I was trying to get an idea of how natural spellcasting is perceived.
That's kind of as I said, natural spellcasting is accepted in this place. It's tolerated in this place, but people quite ignore it. Like if there was a give and take, a wizard would be actively shunned away from society.
Yeah, a man like me would be hired to hunt him down and
Yes.
split
Well,
him.
no offense to your sensibilities, but we have a little girl to save, and I'll rush off further along the trail, continuing to talk to animals to make sure I'm on the right track.
Yeah, it's easy to keep on the right track with the animal guidance. You actually
I scamper after him, blade still in hand.
As you start, as you start to scamper off, I kind of try and hold you back, like I pull on your clothing enough to get your attention.
What is it?
Magic is definitely a danger, and she is a strange one. But I would be careful before we do something that cannot be undone.
She is the one that needs to be careful.
I agree. And then I kneel down next to the child and say, it is getting late, and we are getting far from home. If you can still find your way back, you should go now. Tell them what you have seen, although you may wish to keep the secrets of that woman to yourself. Not everyone would understand, and she is looking for your sister.
I didn't see anything. If you come back with my sister, I didn't see anything.
Good. Go home. Tell them we are safe, and report on our progress.
And sir, thank you.
I stop, I fish out a dagger from my backpack and hand it to him. If you have any trouble, use this.
He takes it like with both hands, not really sure what to do with it, and then kind of like puts it in his belt, quite awkwardly, and says,
Yes, sir. Well, thank you.
Okay.
I'll make sure to tell them everything.
I tussle his hair and kick his butt on the way out. And then I run to catch up with Sandor. And
Am I the only one who's encumbered? Yet again?
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you have
So
armor on
you
though, right?
guys-
And
He
weapons?
does actually
Yeah, I need to get it.
travel.
Make some
I have
older-
armored weapons, but I'm wearing leather armor.
Yeah, I literally don't have armor and weapons.
yeah.
That's a lot of weight off.
Is Justin on the right path, Chucky?
Yes, Justin seems to be keeping on the right path for about the next hour or so.
Okay.
Afterwards, unless you cast another speak with animals,
There's
you
only 10
will
minutes. Okay, yeah.
start losing the. I'll say that because it's a sparsely wooded area, he can take like general directions and follow the path if it's pointed out to him.
I will
Like, you can't
continually
keep it
try
constant.
to convince one of the animals to like guide me the whole way.
You know what? Roll me a persuasion check. I want to give you a chance on this because it's quite a few animals that you're talking to. Yeah, you actually do manage to convince a small badger
Awesome.
to guide you around. You only promise him whatever scraps of food left from the camp that you guys make tonight.
Seems fair.
So, Justin, are you moving at your maximum rate?
Yeah, I am.
So you're fucked if you get into combat. You're probably, I mean, after an hour,
Very far away.
you're probably like a mile ahead of us. Neil, are you waiting with me or are you chasing
I'm
off
going with you.
Okay.
I met you first.
So, this is where we are gonna go.
I like
one
how you
by
guys
one.
assume I'm just screwed.
So where do you go?
Druids could be totally OP.
I
You
mean,
don't know.
but if you get into, if there is someone, I mean, if you get into trouble, we're not going to be able to make it there in time for the battle.
Yeah.
I've
Either
realized
you're
that.
screwed or we're screwed out of experience. Either way.
So you continue on moving, Justin, at a quite a fast pace. You make it. Like the sun starts to go down. It's getting quite late, and the badger is saying that I can follow this, but it's night. Wolves around. I don't.
Hold on,
you
I thought
need
his
to hide it
spell
out.
should have expired by the time it's sunset.
Yeah, it's
No, that's a
duration.
good point. That's a good point. So the badger just like kind of like stops at a certain point.
Well, like before, like my spell expires, like after I've talked to the badger, I'll be like, just like, put him on my shoulder and be like, just nibble my neck, like on this side if you want me to go that way, nibble my neck on this side if you want me to go that way.
Badgers are large, are pretty
Yes,
big.
badgers
pretty-
are, yeah, and
They
they're
are-
pretty
Unless it
horrifying.
weighs more than like 20 pounds, I'll be okay.
We once had a badger rip a troll's arm off in a second edition campaign.
What?
for that. Why was there badger fighting for it? Did we summon it or something?
I think you summoned a badger with summon monster, or monster
Yeah.
summoning 1, or something like that. And I think what the troll rules are, if you score a natural 20, you remove its arm. And the badger's either that, or like did some ridiculous critical hit where it ripped the troll's arm off.
Those definitely sound like
Oh, wow.
some troll rules.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, At a certain point, he kind of like starts scratching your back and just drops on the ground and stops moving because the sun is getting quite down. You have moved a considerable way. With the given light that you still have, you can see the
I have dark
start
vision.
of a still. Let's you see far away. You still need light. Dark vision is only for about 60 feet.
Okay.
You can still see about the start of a hilly area, and out, and in the distance, you can see the mountains.
Okay. I'm going to assume the badger's slowing down because we're catching up. So I'll start moving at half speed with a stealth.
The badger stops.
Okay. I
Like the
keep going.
badger is like, you keep on going.
Mhm.
Okay. Everybody else, you guys are not that far along the way. You have
Nice.
You've actually
stealth.
traveled. Yeah, nice. You have traveled quite along this path. So if you had to guess, you're somewhere along close to where Hund would be if you go straight north from here.
Okay. As we get towards sunset, I say to Sandor, "Do you think she is lost? I am not a native to these woods. Would it be best for us to?"
I probably don't know where Justin's trail is. That's another
No,
survival check.
unless no,
Justin.
no.
No, actually, I mean, if you think about it, I'm not trying to not be tracked. So if I'm on the right trail, I would make the trail obvious as I'm going.
That's true. He would only make the trail more apparent.
You just now started
That's,
stealthing.
no, that's actually a good.
So I
point,
can
huh?
tell that he's on the same trail. I
Yes,
say,
you can see like another set of footprints where you started to move on, and it's still there.
so I'll point this out to Hamara. Say, no, she is ahead of us on the same trail. Her sorcery has kept her on the right path.
Is it safe to travel the woods at night? Should we make camp or push on into darkness?
The woods are just as safe whether you are moving or sitting still.
The night is dark and full of terrors.
The only thing that
I listen to your advice, wise one.
If you want to roll me a nature check, I can give you more information on that.
On what?
On these woods.
Sure. My nature's not very good. Well, my intelligence is not very
You
good.
might know. Yep, you don't really know much. Nope.
Yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time in the woods.
Nope. Okay.
More than
So
I have to.
you guys continue on. Let's see. You guys continue on
I'll
through the
keep
night.
moving
You
and
travel
see
through
if
the
we
night.
can catch up with Hamara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't. Well, he's stealthing.
Yes, so he's stealthing, but he
Very
has
well
been
stealthed.
traveling for the better part of this day at a higher pace than you guys have.
Yeah.
So she is quite far away.
Wait, so Justin, you're moving at 30,
35.
I was moving at 35.
35,
We're
and we're
moving
moving
at
at 20.
When
So you're moving at you're moving at like 175% our movement rate.
But then as soon as I start stealthing, I have to half my speed.
We were
Okay.
probably a couple miles ahead of us, and then
But still, like half your speed
No.
is just ever so slightly slower than us. So we will have to basically travel like hours and hours and hours to catch up with you.
yeah,
Um,
hours and hours and hours.
That's fine. I just want to know where we are.
So you guys
I'll
travel through the
probably
night?
stop and make camp once I lose the trail. I have torches, but I don't have. I'm not going to keep.
You can try and follow the trail if you have any source of light. I will allow you that because it's a sparsely wooded area, not heavily.
Yeah, once it gets dark, I'll light a first torch and see if I can keep following
Torches, I think, only
Lasts
run
for 1
20
hour.
minutes?
One
Nope,
hour.
1 hour?
1 hour. It's a
Okay.
very heroic system. I inform Sandor that I have 3 torches that we can use if we need to. That will give us 3 hours of light.
Is there a moon out?
There is, well, the moon is not yet out. Basically, this is the sunset.
Full moon, new moon. How light will it be tonight?
It's a half moon.
Which
So
half,
it's-
though?
a
So
considerable
if
light.
it's sundown right now, either the moon is directly above us or the moon is like on the opposite side of the world. So which half is it? Waxing or waning?
It's I think it's waning is the one that's on the other side.
I don't know that that actually matters, though, does it?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
if the moon's
it's
above
light.
right now, if it's a half moon in
Oh.
the sky, we have light. If that's a half moon not in the sky, we don't have light.
No, it's a half moon not in the sky yet.
So I guess I'll light a torch and keep moving for now. I guess we have enough light or enough torches to keep us going through the night. If
How
we
many do
want.
you have?
I have 6.
So that's 9 torches. That's 9 out. We could travel all through the night if we needed to. I'd rather not, though.
I don't really have any qualms with traveling through the night.
I'm just not happy to use up all my torches on the way out. What if we need them on the way back?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking. So let's go a couple more hours, and well, yeah, we'll probably eventually get fed up with fumbling around in the dark and make camp.
Okay, so
An hour in, and we've already split the party.
yeah, well, you've already split a party. You guys
I
continue
almost
on
grabbed
through
the
night.
mobile feet, which would have
This is gonna be interesting. Let's see
What's
what
the mobile
happens.
feet?
up. Plus 10 movement speed.
Oh, it's not like data no matter where you are in the world?
No.
Justin, how many hours do you plan on traveling in the night?
If I get closer and closer to those hills and I'm still not catching up, like for my initial thought was that the badger stopped because I was getting closer. If I travel for like another half an hour and I don't feel like I'm any closer, I don't catch up to anything.
You don't feel like you move closer to the hills and the tracks still continue on. So what do you do?
I'll go on for like another 2 hours, I guess. If I
You
don't
have any
catch up,
sorts of right?
if I don't
No,
catch
you
up,
have dark vision.
I have
Doesn't
dark
matter.
vision. If I don't catch up to anything, I'll climb a tree and sleep in the tree.
Okay, so that's about 2.5 hours of you moving at half of 35 would be 17 feet. So they are still moving at 20. They would catch up with you in about 6 hours of travel. So like, if you guys travel all the night through
Okay.
the night, that's when you catch up with it. But don't take that into. I want you guys to go however much you want. You don't really have an idea where she is right now. This is more off-game discussion.
Yeah. I follow Saunders' lead. I trust him in the woods more than I trust myself.
Okay, Sandor,
Before I go to sleep, I cast
Yeah.
Goodberry.
you
and
can
I'll-
hear howls of the wolves in the distance. You just passed quite near what seemed to be a lot of howls, but they start getting distant after a couple of minutes.
Probably doesn't concern me.
Okay, it's useful.
Wolves.
Okay, and you travel-
No, that's literally
about-
useful for me. But moving on.
That's about the first 3 hours in the night. And let's
So
see-
I think that's probably where we'll make camp.
yeah.
So
So how
I
many
guess we'll
hours?
go
do you
past
travel?
where we hear the howling, but a 3 hour. I don't think we'll want to go much more than 3 hours.
Okay, so you make a camp after 3 hours.
Yeah.
Good. So you start up a camp. You're about 3 hours away from her. That isn't. It's quite a bit.
Well, if we're making camp, we should also take our first break.
Yes.
You should also take our first break. Yes, I was just calculating the.
One of our viewers is about to die from an exploded bladder, so
That's his fault for not going to the bathroom for 7 hours.
I'm just saying we could put him out of his misery by taking a break.
I'm sorry.
let's
He
take
can
a
take
small
care of
break.
himself. You seriously, dude? You forgot to pee for 7 hours and all of a sudden you need to now? Find a cup. Come on, get with it. Kidding.
Okay, see you guys. See you guys after the break.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye bye.